Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a Friday, the 7th of March. It was 27 degrees, I think. Last night when I got up this morning, it was already like 31, and it's like 34 now. I think the clouds coming in tends to warm it up a little bit, as it usually does. But it feels good out here. Lots of birds, like I've been saying. Robins are everywhere. That's usually a good sign. Robins all come out and they love going through picking all the worms. That seems to be their fave. But yeah, just the liveliness of everything. You know, the baby rabbits are already running around. I thought all that started a little later in the spring, but yeah, there's the little tiny ones buzzing around already. But anyway, it's Friday. Let's head on to work and get that over with and start a weekend. Saturday looks like it should be like this. A high of 54, which has pretty much been the norm here. Just, it's supposed to be cloudy most of the time. Sunday, rain starts, and there's like, as far as the forecast goes, it's rain. Spring has sprung. All right, let's roll. We're gonna wedge fit in here today. Somebody stole our spot. Don't you know that's where Kelly and I park every morning?
Can't you read that invisible name on the ground?
What's wrong with you people? Anyway, Mama, we've made it to Friday. How about that?
Yay! Holy moly!
It seemed like a long week, despite being crazy busy and the days flying by.
Oh, I know.
It's weird.
Long.
Yeah, right. Just we're not used to being so busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, people definitely are ready for the riding season.
Yeah, they're just like panicking.
Yeah, that was
nicer weather.
4 months of solid no riding, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyway, let's go on in there and get her done.
Alrighty.
All right, Mama. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll see you as the day goes on.
You too.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So I don't know if you guys seen my little subtitle on the 2025 no power steering deal on the F3 and the RT Sea to Sky. Both of them had no power steering. So, you know, I did the procedure. I unplugged it. Well, I went through the procedure with the F3. Worked out fine. Now I got to drag it back over here because of what I'm going to tell you next. So I was doing the same with the RT. I hook it up to buds. Excuse me. And there's no codes. There's no power steering, but no codes. So I power the unit down, get it unplugged, which is considerably harder on an RT. There's like a wing on the upper A-arm, and then these panels and stuff is way harder just to get your hands in there, even with those tools. So I finally get the thing undone. It fought me, and you know, booted the thing up, threw a bunch of codes, and the VSS code, it comes on about every 15 seconds or so. It just screams beep really loud, and you got a red, you know, VSS fault thing pops up, because with no VSS, yeah, it's really unsafe. It's unsafe to ride the thing. It'll freak out because you lost all your vehicle stability control. Everything's gone, you know. But anyway, so, you know, all the codes pop up, boot it all the way back down, plug everything back together, boot it back up, whole host of codes pop up. So, you know, first there's nothing in buds, and it probably took me 20 minutes to get that plug out, boot it up, and boot it back down. It was hard to get that plug out. So in about a 20-minute period, I got to rescan the bike because I had it powered down. And buds opens up. Of course, it's the same, you know, DPS and VSS, all the codes that pop when I unplugged it. Well, I look over there and there's a flash. I go, well, there wasn't an ECM flash a while ago. That's kind of weird. So anyway, I delete the codes and I look at the flash. It's a mandatory DPS update. So if you're wondering what happened, how it got that way, there was a mistake somewhere in the programming of the bike, where by default DPS is, we don't see those things because we can't manipulate DPS. I've seen it when, like, we have a BRP technician code that you have it for, I think you got 10 days or something like that. And you got to be very careful. Do not mess with stuff. Do not turn stuff off on these things. But anyway, you see all these different paddles. You got way more access. But anyway, by mistake, obviously, it was defaulting to DPS off. It was set in the settings to off by default, or it was flashed that way. Well, by default it's on. That's why unplugging it, booting it up, and booting it down, plugging it back in, clear the codes, it by default it's supposed to be on. So by doing that, it put it in its default mode. Anyway, this flash, because you got to hook them up the buds before you roll her away. When you're doing the PDI, there'll be that flash, and you just flash it, and when you fire it up to run it, you got power steering. So the bad thing is the time I spent on the F3 and this RT, once a bulletin comes out, unless you filed the claim before the bulletin comes out, not going to get paid for it. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. It's not the end of the world, but that's just one of those things I will never get paid for. So good news is, when the thing's being put together and the technician hooks it up to buds after you get it together, which is mandatory, you have to do that, it'll flash. We've literally seen units that have come from other dealers that it was never hooked up. It was never, you actually have to, code it saying that you did it today. It's just like BMW. Just, it lets BMW know you just put that bike together, and, it has a home and someone has me type of thing, even though it's here at the store, unless it's sold right away. But which that Sea to Sky was. That thing was sold before I even rolled down here. It was sold before it was pulled out of the crate. So I think she's picking it up today because it needed a bath. I don't know how it got, because it literally came out of the crate and went right upstairs. I don't know how it got so dirty. I think maybe it might have been sprinkling yesterday morning or something. And, the crates are open underneath, so it takes that journey from Quebec all the way to here. This time of year, they're going to get into some storms. I've pulled some crates off that, like, holy moly, them things were dirty. But it was dirty everywhere. So it had to have somehow or other got outside. I can't figure it out. But it was literally uncrated yesterday morning. I don't know. It's a mystery. But anyway, so don't worry about getting one without. I would hope a dealer would never turn one of these things over without power steering. It's if you ever pushed one around, just pushing around the floor and the tires are really low, that's the feeling you have when you ride it. And the scary thing is, with the DPS off, it's not going to throw VSS codes because you defaulted it to being off. That's scary. That's something, they would do for some kind of testing at BRP, not something that anybody should ever do, to turn that DPS off. But anyway, I thought that was a nice little tidbit. This one should be quite familiar with. She's getting handlebar risers. Thing I'm concerned with is they don't look like there's nowhere near enough room, because that thing's got to come. It's going to come up and back. Oh, there's enough room for stuff to move. There's a lot of things wired into this, and all of that has to move. And when I pull on stuff, it hits a stop like right away. As it sits right now, there is no room to move anywhere. So this could be really interesting. Who knows? You remember I was going to wire one of them up, and I was literally stressing over that thing because I was all but talked into and pressured into doing it. I had a stroke that night. That is what a pile of junk job that is to do. I do not like, if you guys watch it all, I do not like jerry-rigging a piece of equipment, especially a very nice, very functional, perfectly functional, needs nothing vehicle. That's just stuff in there that doesn't need to be there. It's just heaps of junk that doesn't need to be in there. And anyway, I was going to have a stroke at some point anyway, because of the conditions, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And when I refused to do it, so another tech did it, and then the same tech did it on this one, but he actually charged the actual time that it takes to do it, which is unbelievably long. And so when he did this one, he got paid for it. I think they decided, look, we just lose enough money. I can lose a little bit of money because they pay me a different way. So, I like to get what I'm paid to do, but, if I lose some, I'm still getting some pay. So I absolutely refuse to do this one. And, but anyway, I mean, I just couldn't imagine paying that much money for that kind of stuff. But that's all water under the bridge. Well, sort of, because now I'm going to have to deal with it. I may have to I'll have to pull I got to pull these panels off for another reason. It's like a truck horn is going to get put on here. A very, very loud horn. It's the extended bolts for that thing. So I'll have panels off anyway. So I will do the horn first so I can see under the panels and see where all that's going, and can I loosen this stuff up. There's a whole lot of stuff going down in there. Oh, look. She moved to the quad lock stuff. Heck yeah. I still love my RAM mounts, but that is so convenient to just clicky your phone in there. I wonder how she gets that thing on there. It looks a little... Oh, it goes. Oh, I don't have enough turn to do it. Huh. I guess you could probably force it in there somehow, but the GPS thing's in the way. Oh, I wouldn't even point the camera. And that's a little tiny iPhone mini. looks like like a kid was doing a little street turn, Anyway, let's get this thing done. I got someone standing out my door. Oh, it's a customer looking at that. KLX? Yeah, KLX. I think it's really cool. It's just a pure dirt bike version. Or is it? Yeah, KLX. Stand in front of it. I don't know my Kawasaki's that well. Yeah, I think it's KLX. That's really cool. Those great little motors. But let me get this thing done. Well, luckily, it looks like there's enough free play on these things. I hope. It's getting tight kind of all of a sudden but the main thing is all this on this side appears to be looped down in there pretty good. That should come up. Whew. Grip heaters. Well, it all worked out. Oh, I need to put a water bottle back on. Worked out beautifully. Listen to this. That'd be good for gags and stuff. I would just never use something like that. Are we good? Just kind of a quickie around the block today. Man, last I talked to you guys, it was the service writer calling me. Well, I ran upstairs, and that was many hours ago. Man, it was customer after customer, all Spyder, and you know, mixed people that Spyders, BMW people that are Spyders now. It was all Spyder content all day today, which I guess that's what it was yesterday too. So yeah, very fun day, but very busy. In a what was he doing? You just have to ask yourself, why? Dang it, why? This ought to be fun pulling out of here. Oh, he's taking the right. Assuming that he's actually going to take the right. Yep, the bar riser thing, there's plenty enough room. I'll have to thank Cable upstairs for that one, because he installed all this stuff on here, and he must have had the foresight that she might change her bars sometime. So yeah, it's very nice. The horn, well, I'm just not into those kind of accessories, but it went together per instructions, and it functions. I was just thinking, I don't even know if my Pan America horn even works. I just never hit a horn. I never put myself in a position ever that I ever have to touch a horn. I have hit like beep, a couple little honks when someone's, you know, asleep, reading their phone when the light turns green. I've done that. But that's literally it. Man, you gotta drive to survive. And a horn, if the horn comes in use, you're pretty much already too late, or you've got yourself in one heck of a pickle. But if you want to make the shipping and receiving guys come running out and looking at the fence to let a truck in, that works really good for that. I think I've fooled him enough times today that I probably realized that was me this time. The second time I done it, he comes, I'm sitting there waiting at my door, you know, and I come out and he says, "You gotta stop doing that." He goes, "Seriously, that sounds like one of the truck horns." And I think that's the purpose of this horn. Attention getter. But yeah, all's well that ends well. Everything went as it should. Boy, they cleaned that sea to sky, the 25 sea to sky up. Yeah, that looks a whole lot different when it's not all dusty rusty. That thing looks good. Everyone, in fact, the guy that just bought the 25 F3T, he's down there, and we all kind of do the same thing. You kind of sit there kind of speechless for a second or two and just go, dang, that thing looks good. Yeah, it does. Everybody, well, the guys anyway, well, Kelly did too. They go, man, that thing looks serious. It does. It looks like it's like a police vehicle or Secret Service or something, you know. Just has that very authoritative look to it. I love when a vehicle has that look. I see this guy. He must be on vacation this week. If so, I hope he's out enjoying himself. The good times are being had by all. Man, when them kids are screaming up in that fence, when I go by there, just about turns me inside out. I'm like, what in the... And you're riding a motorcycle and all of a sudden a kid screams. That's a since you've ever been a parent, that's a pretty frightening sound. Having to go through all that again with grandkids, you know, Raylan or whatever, she'll let out a scream over something, and Kelly and I are just like out of our chair and running. Chrissy's going, oh, she does that all the time. And that girl's got enough energy for 5 people. She was in there running around with me last night. Literally, I'm sitting there watching her. I'm telling Chrissy, I said, you know, she almost makes me out of breath just watching her. You almost feel like you need to gasp for air. I says, man, does a torchlight ever go out on her? She goes, nope. She goes, when it does, it's all at once. But yeah, if you can tell, the bars are, you know, about that much higher or so. She said she wanted it up and back, and it, because of the angle of the stem, that does just that. Hope she's happy with it. Hope she's happy with that crazy truck horn on this thing. All right, from here I'm gonna bounce. Well, hello there, you two. The day has finally come. Next week, as long as it's not raining, it'll be easy to do goodbye vlogs.
Yeah.
Because at this point, this would be 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
6, 7. Yeah, it'd be 7 o'clock at night. So we'll be here an hour earlier than that.
Yeah.
Because the time went forward.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice. Very nice.
It will.
So Kelly, I said, we're going to get, even though there's clouds in the sky over there, we're going to get a goodbye vlog done outside. No rain. Yeah. After work.
Worked it.
Yep. It'll be that way until about next October, I think.
Yeah.
So, yay. Anyway, good day at work. Busy, very crazy busy Spyder day. Again. And man, Spyder's just absolutely going nuts. It's crazy.
It's
Love
cool
it.
Though.
Yep. Good for me, good for the store. Very good for the customers.
Yes.
Get to enjoy that lovely bikes. But anyway, on that, we're going to roll out and start our weekend.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. And you guys have a wonderful Saturday or Sunday.
Heck yeah. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.